Well, all right, here we are again. This is episode 2 of how to paint bad and do other things bad too. The 2 should have 2 O's, not 1 O. In the last episode, I just did 1 O, which is not correct, and even the new version I don't think is grammatically correct, but we're doing things bad. So I think that the painting I did last time was it turned out okay. It was interesting. While I was painting it, I wasn't able to see sort of what was emerging from the painting. I had to actually watch it on YouTube, and I kind of noticed some things. It looked like we were in a grassy field. Yeah, let me pull that up real quick. Yeah, this was the painting from last episode. Doesn't look right close up. It looks better from the camera, so this looks better to you than me. But it's okay. It's the best I could do. Okay, I'm gonna stop here and let my dog upstairs. Yeah, so I've been thinking how to make the paintings worse, and what I've done in the past is I just kind of winged it, tried to do a fast and loose, see what emerged. But I think those paintings end up being okay some of the time. But what I don't do is I usually don't try to paint something specific. So if I tried to paint something specific, I think it would turn out a lot worse. Like if I wanted to do a portrait. Maybe something I'll do next episode is try to use a reference and paint from that. But I guess for now, I'm going to try to paint a fire. I want there to be a fire somewhere. I want there to be hills. And maybe the fire is coming down the hills somewhere and then releasing billowing smoke out. Maybe some trees. Let's see. What kind of sky? Maybe a blue light sky, a little darker on top. It gets lighter towards the horizon. We're in the mountains. So how am I going to do this? Maybe I'll do the hills first, kind of in the wash, and then I'll do a dry on wet to create the fire and the smoke. All right. So I'm going to get this paper wet. This paper is pretty cool. It's a satin finish. I think I like to paint on this on smooth surfaces. So all the other ones, they were done on rough. So we'll get this wet. Supposedly this paper is not supposed to buckle on the block. But we'll see. Tons of hairs, as usual. It'd be cool to get a hake brush that didn't have hairs, but if you have an idea on how to not get all these hairs in here, just let me know. So I did have someone comment on the last video. They asked me a question, and I'm supposed to give really bad answers. His question was, what do I do with the baby to make it stop? Something like that. I don't really know what make it stop means. Make it stop crying, make it stop breathing. Like what's meant by make it stop? I'm going to assume it's not breathing. I'm going to assume that it's crying. That's what babies tend to do. So later on in this episode, I will answer that question badly. And I'm going to call that segment Bad Answers for Good Questions. Okay. So I'm pulling these hairs out because they're getting everywhere. And we'll see what happens. Uh-oh, got some paint on it, but I got some paint on that, but that's okay. I kind of want a mop brush, but I'm going to go ahead and just use this hake here. And I'm going to grab cobalt blue. Just going to bring it out here. Okay. And then let's add just a tad of this red. Hopefully it's not too strong. This is a burnt sienna. All right. So it does make it a little grayer. All right. And don't forget that I want to hear from you how I can become better, what I'm doing wrong, if I'm making any mistakes that I don't see. This should be a cooperative experience, and I want to learn from all of you. And hopefully you don't give me bad answers. I kind of want good answers because I'm trying to get better. So look at that, it already it's about there. One thing I noticed is I tend to do these kind of flippy things, and then it makes wow. Is that granulation there? Okay, well that's kind of cool. So what do I want now? So we're in the background, so we want to stay fairly blue. So what do I want to pull in? What kind of landscape do we have here? I'm going to get some burnt umber. I'm going to grab the burnt umber from this. Oh, that's Payne's Gray. Where's the burnt umber? Am I out of burnt umber? Oh no. Let's grab some of these colors then. Blue. All right. So there's that. So when we get closer, I think we're going to get green. Here we are with the green. This is a sap green. Oh no, I got red in it, didn't I? That red is gonna desaturate the green a bit, but it looks cool. That's fine. And we'll grab some of this blue too. Okay, so there's a little bit of a landscape there. Let's get some of this burnt ochre. just gonna grab a little bit of that burnt ochre, some more of it. Okay, so we're getting a lot of granulation on this paper. And I actually meant to not paint on the whole thing. I wanted to leave some light around it so it looked like there was a frame. There's a little more of this red over here that I'm going to steal. And I think I want to push this up a bit. Okay, so the paper is buckling just a bit. I think I'm going to put a big tree on this side. So for that tree, we're going to grab more of this burnt ochre. Man, that's such a cool color. I want to mix it in with the green, the sap green. I do want it to be a bit darker. Let's grab just a tad of this red, which is probably really strong, as it tends to be. That'll desaturate it. I should have put alizarin crimson. Oh wait, here's that alizarin crimson. That'll darken it up quite a bit. Okay. So with this, we can start getting a tree. Okay. Who knows what that is? Some kind of shadowy form. I made a mistake here. But I think we can live with it. This paint here is mixing interestingly. Some darker spots, some lighter spots, some changes in color. Like you can see over here that it's a little warmer. And this is coming up. So the sky is blue, so the shadows are going to be a little blue too. Where would the shadows be? Kind of here. I want to grab a little yellow too here, some of this bright color. I should wash off the brush here so the water is a bit cleaner. I do want some bright spots. So that's spreading way more than I was hoping. Okay, let's see what happens. I just need to let that chill. Oh, yeah, so last episode, I made a mistake. I'll consider it a mistake. I did the blow drying on the video, and it was very loud and quite annoying. So I'm going to spare you the blow dryer, and what I'll do is I'll just stop the video and let things dry if I want to do another wash over it. And it'll be kind of cool because you'll get to see what it looks like while it's wet and then how it dries. One thing I don't like is that this will lead out of the painting. Like compositionally, doesn't seem great. So I think what I'll do is I'll do something like that so it stays in. And I do got some buckling here, which is adding some unpredictability to the watercolor. Should this yellow be anywhere else? So this paper is damp, so it'll probably create some cauliflower. Okay, so let's see how that dries. Okay, quick status update. The paper, still a little damp. You can see here the pooling. It did buckle. This is Archer satin hot press, 140 pound. They claim it doesn't buckle, but it is buckling. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. That's possible. Tell me in the comments. Everything you think I'm doing wrong, tell me in the comments. Yeah, make fun of me. I don't care. I mean, it would be cool if it was constructive feedback, but I'm totally open to people just saying that I suck. But yeah, what do you see that I can do better? Just put it in the comments, and I think I'm gonna blow dry this because I'm getting impatient. Okay, the painting's dry. It's not damp. I'm trying to remember the rule. You don't want to put paint down when the paper is damp. Wet is okay. Damp is not okay. I'm wondering if I'm doing something wrong causing this paper to buckle. Maybe I'm putting too much water on it. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, but I looked at this from far away, and it does seem to have perspective. You know, as we move out into this landscape, you know, this kind of leads us there. We move out into the landscape, it slowly gets bluer and bluer, and we have this sort of like light portion here. But the problem is the light kind of the light portion bends around this hill. Usually the light portion is straight. We move up, and it should be getting darker and darker as we move up. So I think I'm going to do another wash with that cobalt and try to make it more saturated towards the top. Or I could just go on wet to dry paper, so wet brush, dry paper. Move this a little. This thing, you tell me what it is. It kind of looks like a vine. And I was saying that I wanted to make fire, so maybe this is the fire. I don't know what that yellow ball is. Maybe that is a mistake. I need to try to be creative with it and see what I can do. But it definitely doesn't look like a light source because it's not making anything brighter around it. And I'm not even sure how I would do that, honestly. Hopefully there's better painters out there. All right. Yeah, I'm trying to remember the last painting. One thing I did is I added a wash to just certain parts of it. And where the wet part met the dry part, it ended up creating a lot of cauliflower. And you can see here that I created some cauliflower too. That's probably from adding the yellow to the just damp paper. I'm going to try to work with it though. Maybe it looks like something. Maybe it looks like, yeah, cover that up. It kind of looks like trees way in the distance. So where would the horizon be in this painting? I suppose somewhere around here. That would be the horizon. So these would have to go above the horizon to really look like trees. Let me see if I can do it. Let's try to cover it up. I'm going to put some trees on this real quick. Just double checking that I'm recording. So if we have trees off in the distance like that, they're usually not going to have hard edges. I'm going to go ahead and use the small round brush. It's a number 4. Let's grab some green. This brush has a lot of spring to it. I want some of this blue. So let's get some of that blue. Because it's far away. Need a little more water. So I'm just using the paint that's already wet. And there's going to be a problem with this because these trees are going to be just way off. They go above the horizon. A little more water in this. Come on, paint, activate for me. Activate superpower. Might as well get some of that in there, just for fun. Maybe this is just looking more like a bush, but I don't want it to be, well, I don't want it to be just a giant blob over there. I'm adding a little shadow in this, maybe to give it some definition. More shadow. Okay, hopefully this isn't too much. Oh, yep. I'm going crazy with it. See, this makes it look like it's close. So I'm going to bring it down. Let's bring it down. What do we have here now? Some of that green. And one of the things that I have trouble with watercolor is how transparent it can be. And sometimes I wish I could just paint over the black. But the color is always so dark. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm just gonna get a stronger blue. Some blue in this. Don't ask me why. Okay. What can we do in here? Wondering if I can scratch in something. It's actually pretty easy to scratch into this, which is cool. I wonder if it has anything to do with the paper type. Can I scratch this? Nope, not really. Okay. Making this really weird tree thing. What do I want to do? So we're dry. I really like this color. Look at that. It separates. Is that too wet? See what this does. I don't really like this tree. Let's erase it. Let's really erase that tree. Oh man, I don't know. Okay. So going back to just totally destroying whatever is happening. I'm going to take some more cobalt blue. And let's see here. I don't know about this. I'm not going to be able to erase that though. It's just there forever. Okay. So then I don't got any umber anymore, so I just don't. I really like that umber color. But I do have this red. I don't know why I'm talking about red now. So, what is red gonna do in this? Red is just gonna be a thing we're gonna have to deal with. The scratch is a thing we're gonna have to deal with. So, time for good questions with bad answers. So my friend, he asked a question. Very nice of him, of course, because it's the first question that anyone's asked. And he just had a baby, and he's wondering how to make the baby stop crying. So my bad advice for this is just to realize that we're all animals at the core. And I'm thinking of Pavlov's experiments. He used to ring a bell, and whenever the dog would come to get the bell, or towards him to get the bell, or whatever, he would give the dog a treat. And over time, it became conditioned within the dog that whenever the dog heard the bell, it went and got the treat. So my suggestion is to treat the baby just like an animal, right? If the baby's crying and it won't stop crying, what you do is you scare the shit out of it, right? So it's like crying, you hide under the bed, and then you jump up and you're like, ah! Every time it cries, scare it. That's known as negative conditioning, as far as I know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Whenever the baby's not crying, though, you just give it treats. I suggest every 10 minutes the baby doesn't cry, give it a treat. If it doesn't cry for another 10 minutes, give it another treat. If it starts crying, though, scare it. And over time, the baby will start, it'll have this conditioned response that it'll know that whenever it cries, it's gonna, something bad's gonna happen. It's gonna be scary. And whenever it doesn't cry, the baby gets treats. So, this is my bad, horrible advice. Take it or leave it. I recommend that you leave it. And yeah, thank you so much for asking a question, old Sonia. All right. So here we are back to the painting. I let it dry a little bit, and it's going to need some more drying, so I'm going to take the blow dryer to it. Real quick though, this painting has completely changed, hasn't it? It looks like we kind of have this landscape, this big hill right there, and a dark sky behind it. This might be a trail that goes off into the distance. You know, we see some of the underpainting here. We see the stuff that I scratched right there. Yeah, I've noticed when I scratch something, it'll be white, and then when I go over it, it really soaks in whatever color I go over it with, which creates a pretty cool effect, I think. So maybe that's the sun, but then, you know, what is this weird thing in the sky? I don't know. Maybe I'll make it clouds. I'll do some lifting in the sky, because I don't want it all to be super dark. So let's see. We got some clouds in here. Got some clouds here. All right. I don't know. It does. I feel like things are lifting pretty good in this paper. Now that's pretty cool. What am I going to do with this? And this is probably... Oh, yep, that's not going to lift very well. Okay, I'm going to try this off. All right, we're dry here. This painting completely changed, and this is what usually happens to me. I do something, and it changes into something else. But I was outside smoking a cigarette, and one of these little bugs came up. They're called the spotted lanternfly, and they're black, and they got these dots on them. I'm in Pittsburgh. So last year, I guess they invaded, and they're considered invasive species. So what everyone decided to do to stop the invasive species is to worry about them and smash them. So everyone was into smashing the spotted lanternfly. Everywhere they'd see them, you'd see people just stomping. Just groups of people. Just, oh, there's a spotted lanternfly. Let's stomp on it. Oh, let's stomp on it. Let's kill it. They're invasive. Blah, 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 blah. And the thing is, the thing that's ridiculous about this to me is the spotted lanternfly, they came here and they're reproducing exponentially, right? So people, I mean, we're reproducing as well, but we reproduce so much slower than them. There's just so many of us, and the amount that we stomp on and we kill is just not going to make a difference. Like, we're fighting a battle that we can't win. The spotted lanternfly is here to stay. And like, people do this stuff all the time. Just the idea of an invasive species is strange to me. Like, people spend their time like pulling out the knotweed because it's invasive. So I'm going to waste time just pulling out this knotweed. But guess what? You're not going to beat the knotweed. This is all part of nature. This is how nature works, right? Like, we don't need to fight nature. We could just live with it. The way I understand it, the way I understand nature working is, you know, you have these ecosystems. Something will come in and it'll mess with the ecosystem. You know, maybe there'll be some extinctions within the ecosystem. But over time, things will start to adapt. You know, for example, with the spotted lanternfly, like the birds are going to eat them, and then you know, there'll be more birds, and then maybe some kind of bird predator will come in, like cats, and like over time, like things start balancing out, and that's just the way that the world works. And I'm sure that it's worked like that forever, even before we were here. You know, species would go and invade other ecosystems. But then over time, there's a symbiosis. So I just think it's funny how much people waste their time fighting these battles that they can't win. It's just funny to me. The spotted lanternfly. Let's kill it. Let's stomp on it. Okay, whatever. People do what they do. I would prefer that people kill less. But I guess that's just part of our nature. We're a destructive species. So what's going on here? What is this looking like now? A total accident, of course. Everything is a total accident. You can see some of the underpainting here. I'm not sure if you can actually see that in the camera. But this kind of almost looks like a cloud or like some kind of like wisp that's coming in, and then there's this bam head right there. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. Perhaps it'll be a cloud. I was thinking maybe it's going to be like some kind of weird monster that's like looking at us. So what should I do? What should I do from here? I think we do need some plants. This needs to be a little bluer than it is. So let's do it. I always go in and grab the Payne's Gray for some reason. I don't know what it is about that Payne's Gray. What is it about the Payne's Gray, huh? Okay, let's get some more blue into that. Just gonna grab the blue. What does it do? It disappears quickly. This is all looking pretty messy, but there's a way to make it look like it's actually coming from far away. And then with this, what can I do with it? I'm just going to grab some more of this yellow. See what this yellow can do. I mean, it does lighten up areas when it's very thick, so that's something I can remember in the future. What is this? It's like a fire in the distance, maybe. What does fire do? Fire's freaking crazy. That's what it is. Crazy fire. Huh. Well, that's good to know. I can take that yellow, make it super heavy, you know, and then we got fire. Fire in the distance. Fire in the distance. Just a... I wonder why that fire is so big. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of trees anywhere, right? I don't see any trees. So one thing I did is I added that dark color. I should have put the fire on top of that dark color, because it'll really increase the contrast there. I think my brush might be getting a little dry here, but it's not as important when we get over to the side. Okay, fire's getting crazy. Oh, so I'm going to take this red, but I do want it to be a little wetter. I want it to flow. And then, let's see. Shit. Too much. I was hoping for a kind of orange. Okay, so I'm going to have to do this fast. Okay. Pushing. I want this to be very random. Okay. I'm going back to the yellow. I'm going to put it on top. So I'm kind of layering here, doing a layer. Sort of fiery, right? Sort of fiery. Just add a little more of these little fire flourishes. Just want to be very random. So that's how fire can be. I also don't want too much detail. I mean, this is off in the distance, right? All right. Kind of wet over here. Okay. Well, there's a fire. How am I going to make that look realistic? else can I add onto this? I'm just pressing it with my finger. Oh, so with fire, there's usually lots of smoke. Is that what this is? Is this smoke now? I don't know. I wonder if we can even go darker around the fire. Because that yellow can sit on top and actually increases the value, to my surprise. Okay, let's grab some of this blue. And some of this sienna color. Should desaturate it a little bit. Okay, so now we have this, and so does that happen with fire? As it goes in the distance, does it appear to blue out? That's a question. Okay. Oh, this is a color that I need. A burnt umber. Just adding some of that burnt umber to this blue. Should be a pretty dark color. It's darker. Okay, so I'm going to let this dry for a second. Well, I said I was going to make a fire, and I did okay. It was the first fire I've ever made. Looks like there's a fire in the distance, but what am I going to do here? I kind of want to make it look like we got a big tree coming down with the leaves over here, and then I want it to look like this fire is burning something. It just looks like it's a fire, and just fire. It doesn't look like there's any food for the fire. So question is, what do I do? I think I'm going to use this. small springy brush. I'm going to get a really dark color here. Maybe these two colors. We're just kind of going to make a tree there. And this is a tree. But of course the tree's on fire, so three trees. Very dark. Because they're silhouetted. Okay, and this one's kind of just looks very strange. Which is okay. Shouldn't have done this. Okay. 3 dark trees burning. I don't want too much detail because they are in the distance. This one's like, oh God, help me. Help me. Save me. Okay, that's probably enough for the burning trees. They have leaves. They got leaves, they're very dark. You know, like maybe some of these will have. notice this one has some leaves over here. I don't think I want to overdo it because this is sort of background anyways. And that's good. Some of these leaves are going to have a lot of yellow in them, aren't they? Let's get some more of that yellow, which is just really gonna, just because they're burning trees, right? Okay, my yellow has a little bit of red in it. Okay, that's a bit much. I'm just gonna soften that up a bit. I'd say that is good. So now it kind of looks like the fire is kind of surrounding. Alright, yeah, there's a lot of detail work on that, a bit much for me. Especially since this is all in the distance, right? So let's see if I can soften it even more. Just really softening it. So what I did is I wet the tip of this brush here, which softens it a bit. Okay, so now we get some burning trees in the distance. I don't know if I actually made it better or not. I'll probably have to go far away and take a look. Alright, I'll be right back. Let me check. Okay, It sort of looks like some burning trees in the distance. So one thing that I want is I want a big, maybe tree, like towering over us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a trunk, kind of, right here, something big, and then we're going to have leaves coming down at us. We'll see what happens. Oh, shit. Dropped the brush I want to use for the trunk. So we're going to use this. All right, I'm going to cut it real quick. I'll be right back. Okay. Now I think it's time we did some more trees. We're over here. It's kind of, I feel like there's. Hey, dog. You chill. Hey, go up there. Go up there. Good dog. My dog was chasing the cat. She's a good dog, though. She listened to me. She jumped up on the couch that I was pointing at. You're a good dog, Maya. You know that? Don't fuck with the cats. All right. Yeah, she shouldn't fudge with the cats. Don't fudge with the cats. Fudge, 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 fudge. No fudge. Okay. Hopefully YouTube doesn't get me on that, because I think my dictation's a little weird. The way I talk is strange to me. When I watch the videos, just a very strange talker. Okay. So some trees here. How do we determine how big trees here would be? I'm kind of thinking about the distance of how far away this seems to me. All right, let's try it out. I think it's fairly close still. So I want some of this umber. Where's my umber? Do you see my umber? Oh, here it is. It's right there. So I do want that umber. Take a lot of it. There we go. Do this. And I want a tree here. Now, how big would that tree be? Okay, the tree takes everything. Was this the tree that I want to be in front? See, these are the branches that I'm inventing. This is actually pretty hard. Okay, I gotta move fast. Bring this down. I'm gonna thicken it up. So I'm really splitting this. The tree's gonna do stuff like this. Okay, I don't want it to dry completely. Okay, because I want this to mix a little bit. See my green here? The red has completely entrapped it. Oh my god, red, no! Red is a color that it just takes over everything. Grab some yellow. We need some yellow in this. Some strong yellow. More green. Come on. take some blue now. I don't know if you can see this, but we need blue. Okay, I'm going to take this color and so this blue is actually, or this green. I kind of wanted it to look like it was coming. Like hanging over us, but I went too low with it. Now this just looks weird. So I'm going to take some of this yellow, a little bit of umber. Let's see. Okay, it appears green, doesn't it? Oh, perhaps a bit much. I want a little more water in this. Really messed this up. Okay. What can I do to fix this? Yeah, that didn't work. I'm gonna wet it. Oh, how to paint bad, right? I'm going to try to erase this tree somehow. I should have had a reference to that. Should have used a reference. Basically just getting this wet and trying to lift it out. just taking this paint and I'm moving it. Oh man. Well, that got weird. Okay. Water. And I want to go back with this blue. Now it has a lot of green in it. Okay, that's looking blue. Okay. Let's get some more water. Okay. Water blue. So I'm getting some of that red in there. Okay. Water. You know, this is actually kind of interesting, you know, these different colors here. I do like this very saturated blue around the fire. Oh, we'll just keep on making that super blue for no reason. I really got to kind of put it in there like this. Okay. Pretty weird sky. Oh man, fire. It's hard. Okay, I'm sure that looks nothing like a fire. Getting pretty close to where we should be ending, and it's not looking great. What am I gonna do? I think I'm just gonna take my. Let's do this this color here, which is burnt sienna. Make it really strong. Okay, let's see what we can do with it. Will this be even stronger? Get some water. Water. So I'm just adding some blue, maybe a little red. Kind of greens it up there. Okay. So now I need a really dark color. I'm gonna take my umber. My favorite umber. Umber is just such a nice color. I don't know why. What do I want to add? Let's add some blue to this. Okay, and then just a tad of yellow. Some more blue. And okay, that needs to be more green. Yeah, green is hard because it's been taken over. So I'm just gonna take yellow and blue. Okay, come on. Turn green. Okay, that's green, right? Okay. Okay. Let's see. Got this. And let's add a little Payne's Gray to it. Because we know that the back got this here, but I want it to be a little weirder. So I'm starting to get this wet. Add just a tab of the evil red. Red. Do a little more umber. Okay, no one knows what is going on here. It's just a bunch of bushes and crap, I guess. I want that to be really dark. My darkest color is the umber. I do have some alizarin crimson. I'm gonna grab that. Okay. How to paint bad. This is how to paint bad. I think I am definitely giving an example of how to do that. Okay, umber, umber, umber. This is my umber. It's all gone. Okay. Okay. You know, maybe I should call it. It's a lot of experimentation, and I mean the truth is, I gotta have some bad paintings sometime, right? Like the first one ended up okay. That's cool. It makes these little dots. Probably scratches too, right? I think that is going to be it. Okay. This is how to paint bad, and it's totally okay. I'm gonna try to do one more thing. Maybe I should add branches. I'm gonna look at this from far away. Yeah, okay. Don't like this one, so we'll try again next week. Let's see. It's okay to make mistakes, right? That's how we learn. Mistakes are okay. I tried to make fire. I didn't make fire. You know, I tried out a new kind of paper. Not everything's going to turn out good, and hopefully, over time, we're able to improve. Huh. See, that's just upside down. Let's rip it. Okay. Unfortunately, the video stopped and I didn't see it. But what I did is I took a knife to it, I ripped it, I rearranged it, I put tape on it. So if this is an example of how to paint bad, I don't know what is. So this is how to paint bad and do other things bad too. See ya.